What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. This is my trade recap, aka my journal. I'm gonna really go in depth on kind of what happened today and use this as an educational video and just something to look back on, which is crazy, right? Because I mean, this hasn't happened in a long time, and let's just get into it. So, coming into the market today, um, I came into the market expecting to win, which it's not good. Terrible mindset. You don't want to come into the market like that, right? You don't want to come into the market with a losing mindset either, obviously. But I came in today expecting to get my $150 day, so I can get my fifth winning day and then get my payout. I was gonna take out $1,500 today, is what I told myself, if I got that $150 day today, and that's what I tried to go for. You can see I'm still within my risk parameter, which is great. I'll never deviate out of that, obviously, unless, I build my account up more and then I can actually manage to lose, $400 or $500. But we stayed in between that $350 risk, which that's good, I guess. But what's crazy is I'm not mad about the loss. Like, the loss doesn't affect me. I'm not, like, $350, it's nothing. I know I'm gonna come out green, obviously. Maybe it depends, but like I'm not worried about the $350. What I'm more upset about is the fact that I actually broke my trading plan. I broke my rules, and that is getting to me so much right now, which is crazy to think because a little over a year and a half ago, I'd be extremely pissed off if I, lost some money in the market. Like, granted, yes, it sucks. It's $350 that I didn't need to lose, but it's the fact that I broke my trading plan that I've stuck to for 3 months consistently. And I broke my trading rules trying to chase $150 to secure a payout. And it's crazy to think that this is pretty much the reason why prop firms are still in business, and this is why they go around that rule set with the 5 winning days. It's because they know that if a person if they need one more day of $150 and they're there to get that payout, they know that that's going to screw them up mentally. They know that they're going to keep trying to chase it, and they may even blow their account trying to get that money back. Like me a year ago, if I lost $350 this close to a payout, I'd be trying to risk maybe double, trying to make that money back and something to get that $150, which is not good. I'm not doing that. I haven't done that in a while. Hope that doesn't happen. I can usually catch when I'm kind of not going on tilt, but when I can catch myself deviating off my strategy, I guess you could say, and my plan. And I felt that today. And I mean, obviously, like, yes, we have lockout tools, risk stuff set up in place just to keep yourself from, blowing your account and whatnot. I'm to the point now to where I know that if I take 2 trades or I'm at $350, I'm done for the day. Like, I don't even need their lockout tool. It's good to have it there just as that extra backup, but I know I don't need that anymore. Because obviously, like, I'm trading with a Lucid account, they don't have that because I'm using Quant Tower. So, like, I know that I don't need a lockout tool. It's just I know when to get off. I can tell myself when my strategy's not playing out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's $350. We lost $5 this week, which is whatever. It's fine. We're still up $400 for the month. That's pretty fucking terrible. But coming into this month, the first start of the month it was terrible. It wasn't good. Right? Like, nothing was going great at all. And then obviously we caught some good momentum here. Then this loss right here. But whatever, it's all right. But yeah, like, so what happened today was I took a trade outside of my trading session, outside of my trading hours. That has not happened to me in forever. Now, okay, maybe that's happened once with the evals because I was trying to pass it fast. But that doesn't count. I don't usually, my habits from an eval they don't transfer over to an XFA. That hasn't happened until today, I guess. But like, it wasn't anything bad, I guess you could say. So you guys already know my trading session is from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Sometimes maybe 10:30 if there's a good setup and I'm still in a trade, right? But anything after that, I'm not taking a trade because price tends to fake out. The move from New York Open has already happened. We've already swept liquidity from whatever session. The big move has already printed. And obviously price is going to consolidate, and then near lunch hour or PM session, that's when they're going to have their second move and they're going to target whatever. But I don't trade past 11:30, so I don't know how the market really moves at that time. I'm not conditioned for that market, that market system right there, I guess you could say. So you can see right here, this is 8:30. This is the 8:30 open candle, right? I mean, from off rip, I saw no, from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, I didn't see a single setup on NQ or gold. I saw nothing. So what I did was I gave myself some time to let the market fade out and, balance itself to try to see if I could get some good price action. That didn't happen, obviously. You can see we're underneath the 200 EMA. On Bookmap, we're also showing that, sellers are in control at this time, right? We got a huge pump to the upside. 2 candles pumped us all the way up. We broke structure to the upside, and we closed to the 200 EMA. I know some people actually got in on this breakout right here for buys. Problem with this is there's no confluence. We're underneath the 200 EMA. We are breaking structure to the downside still, right? We broke these swing lows right here. We had a double bottom right here, which I guess, that held as support, obviously, but whatever. But overall, I came into the market today with a bearish mindset. I wasn't looking for buys at all. That wasn't in my... That's not what I was looking for. Obviously, you can switch your bias up. You don't want to have a strict bias, which I usually don't. I'll switch my bias up depending on if we get breaks of structure, change of character, depending on liquidity, what order flow is looking at, what Bookmap's, saying, yada, yada, yada. I'll change my system or my bias depending on what's happening. So I didn't take buys right here because I didn't see any reason for price to push up, right? I saw that we were at no key levels for me. I didn't see any key levels. I mean, I know some people mark this out, but this doesn't count for me. Like, I'm not looking at anything right here, right? Like, we're not even going to use that as a demand zone because it's way past, it's not recent, right? It's too far away. So I didn't take this breakout. Obviously, I wish I did. I really wish I did. This breakout would have gave me enough to fucking pass, get the payout, whatnot, and the extra, right? But I didn't. I didn't take it. And I didn't have any FOMO because I knew this wasn't a good trade. So I didn't take it. When we got near the 200 EMA, obviously we started to consolidate because that's usually what price does. On Bookmap, I could see buyers and sellers fighting for price. We were just kind of pushing up and down. We were in consolidation. So I waited. We got to this point right here. I seen that we had a 5-minute demand setup with a break of structure. So you would think that this 5-minute demand with break of structure right here would be good. That's what I would think too. The problem with this is, okay, so we got a nice wick rejection at the zone, right? Which I got in right here. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm going to show you guys exactly where I went wrong and what happened. So right there. That was our entry. So I'm going to go over some things here. So we got a rejection at the zone, right? Strong buyers came in. We pushed price up. We left a key level right here. We got an imbalance. So this is my area of interest. We came back. We tapped. Just like a normal, supply and demand break a candle entry. Problem with this is, I've said this and I've seen it happen again. There's a gap right here. Okay. Usually, obviously, with your supply and demand zones, you want a nice, strong, bullish or bearish, candle to leave the zone. So like, where's a good example? See a good example. So like something like this. I wouldn't take this obviously, but like this is just an example. So say this was over there, a strong bullish candle. There's a gap from the top of this wick, which is the bottom last candle of our demand zone, to the third candle wick, or so on and so forth, wherever price is going to go. But there's a gap here, just one candle, right? You come over to our setup over here, we have 2 candles inside of our zone. This left a gap. So just because price tapped into our demand zone right here, we didn't fill in this gap. This is very hindsight, obviously, right? Like I'm looking at order flow, I'm looking for imbalances, I'm looking for delta shifts, whatever. At our key level. And I wasn't really looking at that. I'm not gonna lie. I seen us tap. We didn't fill in this zone, and I'll still take trades like this. By the way, if it has another candle inside, but it's got to come down and fill this thing in. But I didn't even pay attention to that. I seen it, but I didn't even think anything of it. You can see obviously price did in fact come back all the way down, right here, right. I think yeah, right there, and then right there. We filled in that little area, and then price went up. But okay, so there's our first problem for our trade. Not a good entry. Our second problem. This is the second thing that could have actually helped me not lose the rest of this money today. When I take my breakup candle entry, it's got to be at the top of the wick, the high of the candle, right? Not the body closure. Not the body closure. The high of the candle. It's got to pass the high of the candle or the low of the candle wick. High of the candle wick or the low of the candle wick. Not the close. Not the high close or not the body close underneath the candle. Got to be the wicks. The reason I didn't do that is because I was like, well, shoot, it's 118 point stop loss if I wait for the wick, right? It was only 89 points if I wait for the candle close. Well, fuck, shouldn't have done that because that right there would have given me extra confirmation not to get into the trade. So that's two things right there. Actually, we're at three things right now on why I shouldn't have taken this trade. We are way past my trading hour, which is 10:55. Okay. We already took a loss for the day, right? Which was, I completely forgot. I'm gonna have to go over that one too. So we're already at one loss today. So this is our second loss, right? So I should have been off already. On top of that, we didn't get our correct entry. We didn't get our candle closure. We didn't get our break a candle closure. Sorry, we didn't pass our break a candle for our entry. I got in past our body closure, which is not good. I haven't done that ever. The reason I did that was to try to get a smaller stop loss, so it made more sense. So there's three things right there. On top of that, let's add another thing. Look at how far price has ran from the bottom of New York Open to the very top of today's high. We have ran 535 points already. So with everything being put together, we're building a playbook. Or not a playbook. We're building our, what's it called? Yeah, let's go with our playbook. We'll go with that. We're putting all these things together to see why this trade failed, which is good because this is how you understand what went wrong. You need to be able to identify these key problems here and not do them again, right? You got to put all this stuff together, and that's why I'm making this video, and that's why I'm going to upload it. But all these problems together is giving me my reason for this trade failing. Nothing was in my favor right now at this trade. Nothing. There wasn't anything in my favor. So we got 535 points from New York low all the way to the high of today's high in New York. So obviously price is going to get exhausted. We don't know where price is going to go. It could push up, it might consolidate, or it pushes down for a retracement, which is bound to happen, especially after a 535 point move through the market. On top of that, we're trading at 11 o'clock. So we're going into, lunch hour. So we already know from previous data that lunch hour consolidates. So we got 535 point move. We have consolidation. We have out of our trading session. We have not a correct break a candle entry. We have rushing our trade. We got, what else? It being Friday. On top of that, we're trying to, make our money to get our payout. I mean, I'm at 7 things right now on why this trade failed. And it's good that I see this because this means I'm evolving as a trader and I'm evolving at distinguishing bad setups. We just got to not do it again. That's it. And it's crazy because I haven't done this, like anything like this it's been months. Usually I can see stuff and I'm not going to take it and I'll just wait. But I wanted that payout and it got to me. And, we're just going to have to take it and come back Monday. Maybe Monday, actually, because probably not now that I think about it, because it's a no news Monday. I'm playing offense right now, right? Or defense. I want to be good at defense and offense. At first, when I first started trading, I was only offense. I was just taking trades. I was not protecting my capital. But this year, I've been really good with defense. And today, defense didn't come into play, and that's my fault. I'm acknowledging it. I'm it sucks. It's whatever. I broke my rules. I'm like I said, I'm more upset that I actually broke my trading plan and my rules than even losing the money, right? Because the money wouldn't have gotten lost if I would have just stuck to my plan. But it's okay. You just got to make sure you journal this, you reflect it, and you do not do it again, right? Like I guess everybody makes a mistake. I'm not going to be a perfect trader. I'm not a robot. I'm gonna have emotions, I guess, and it happened today, which it's crazy it did, but it could have been worse, right? We could have lost more money. Could have just done something terrible, but glad we stayed content and took that loss, which sucks, but it's whatever. That's the reason the trade failed. But yeah, let's go and take a look at the other trade that I took too, because I know I took another one. Sorry, actually, I know where it's at. It's right here. So if we take all this off, it was right here. Right here. This was the second loss right here. Or this was the first loss. Breakout for sells. I'm going to go over this real fast. So this breakout for sells was 92 points. So at first, when we came into the market, obviously I said that we had a strong push to the upside. I thought, okay, my price might be playing out for buys today. And then I go over to the 15-minute and 1 hour. I'm looking at the 15-minute at first. And on the 15-minute, you can see we're obviously bearish, right? But I think where we were at, there just wasn't enough information. There was no higher time frame zones. We didn't have anything telling me that price wanted to go up, right? There was nothing. There was no indication that price wanted to go down at that time. And then on top of that, you can also see if we mark this out, we have, some resistance, I guess you could say. We don't actually know if this is resistance or not because I don't have my order flow pulled up, but we could just say, just by price action, yeah, this is resistance. Sorry, support. This is support. Double bottom. But yeah, you can obviously see that. So with that marked out, I didn't even see that till now, which is crazy. But at least now I see that. We got in for sells. I was like, okay, well, we had this crazy push up. We might reverse. Coming into this, I seen, okay, well, we're in between the 200 EMA, which is not, that also right there is not good. I usually don't trade in between the 200, so I don't know why I took this. Sometimes trades will play out if they push through the 200, sometimes they don't. But I said, okay, well, our only problem is, well, we don't have higher time frame confluence, and we are also running into the 50 SMA. And as you can see, as soon as we got into the trade, we pushed down just a little bit. I was like, yeah, if this holds, the trade's going to lose. That's what I said. It's exactly what I said. And you can see price pushed right off the 50 SMA and smacked through the take profit, or to my stop loss. And then that's when I switched my bias to buys right here. But with that, we already ran 535 points right here. So that's pretty much the problem, right? Just it's whatever. We come back tomorrow or Tuesday, and we go from there. But we didn't lose much. The only thing I lost is my fucking dignity. So that's about all we lost. But it's all right. We're still good. We've been holding this account. We've been pretty good, consistent. I'm happy. And yeah, that's it. That was my trade recap, and see you guys Tuesday.